like I said, that comes from the Black nationalist organizations that we all stem from, right? So to say that the conscious community don't have laws, rules, regulations, or bylaws that regulate whether you are what was considered you conscious, I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is just the AI overview, and I'm just gonna run through this real quick because I really want to talk about it organically from my own experience. And if anybody else out there who got any experience with the conscious community or been part of the conscious community, I want them to come up and give your 2 cents too, because I'm not trying to say that my word is law when it comes to the concept of conscious community. You see what I'm saying? So I'm only going to speak from it from my perspective and my experience with the conscious community. Right.
I have a question before you continue
Okay.
though.
What's that,
If Black nationalism is foundational, then is it also the Black conscious community? That's my question, right?
Okay.
Because some folks back here, they're not pro-Black. They're not pro-Black.
That's people who are not pro-Black are not part of the conscious community. They're not. At least not part of the conscious community that we all come from, which like I said again, you talking about Freeman L, Dr. Valentine, Dr. Ben Yosef Yakanan, Dr. John. I could just keep on naming all of the great master teachers that we all learned up under, like we all learned from Aswa Kwesi. I could the list go on. The list go on. You see what I'm saying? So we had to learn. We had to sit down, listen for hours and hours, days and years of fucking lectures of these men. We had to sit down and read tons and tons, years and years of books to get the understanding that we have from these great teachers and great men of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So for people to tell us that there's no foundation or no structure in the conscious community, I beg to differ. This right here says a conscious community is a group of individuals who are aware, intentional and focused on personal and collective growth. Listen, like so. Again, if you're not doing this shit, can you really be considered part of the conscious community? Right? It says collective growth, personal and collective growth, shared values, and positive impact. You hear that? Positive impact. So you can't be no YN robbing niggas and doing all this goofy shit, selling dope and all this other goofy shit, and then claim to be conscious, right? Because that's not a positive impact. So that just based on that basic understanding of what conscious community means, you that right there already disqualifies a lot of the people that are in the conscious community and claim to be conscious or claim to be part of the conscious community. So it said it is built on mindful relationships. Listen to what it's saying. Mindful relationships, mutual respect. You see what I'm saying? It's a commitment to make conscious choices that benefit both the individual and the community. You see what I'm saying? So again, if you're not down with this shit right here, then you're not part of the conscious community, especially not the Black conscious community that came up out of our Black nationalism. And we're gonna see that as I keep going, right? It says in the context of Afrocentric or Pan-Africanist ideologies, the term refers to a movement of people of African descent to awaken to their true African indigenous selves and become aware of systematic injustice. So that right there, my friend, is the basis. That's just a, very surface level definition of what it means to be part of the conscious community. And like it's going to expound on those things. I don't really want to go too further off into that, but I will comment on this part right here. Afrocentric Black conscious community is a specific movement where consciousness is referred to the awakening of one's African identity and the awareness of the systematic oppression. Ideologies like Afrocentricism, Afrofuturism, and Black nationalism are what? Foundational. That's right. So
Laurel, check this though. But what's happening is that the community is being co-opted, and infiltrated. I mean, so like, when political groups come up with terms like woke, so that woke, so the conscious community is also becoming politicized, because when political groups then come up with terms like woke, it seems like it's anti-consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The woke community and the black conscious community is not the same thing.
I never understood what the woke community is. What is
They,
the woke community?
the politically correct, people who identify with
DEI?
pronouns and all that other
Oh,
goofy. Yeah, we
well,
not, we
well,
not the black conscious
right,
community ain't with none of that shit. Look, okay, so I'm gonna
right.
throw this out here, and I'm gonna say this because this is the pink elephant in the room. When you become conscious, the first thing you do is you start separating yourself from mainstream society. That's one of the first things that happen. You usually reject religion. The mainstream religion is one of the main things, and then the identity labels that being placed upon you. You know what I'm saying? And those are some of the first. Some of the first things that go. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to explain to these people is that before we even get to consciousness, it's the church first. The church. This is where the consciousness, the whole conscious community, stem from religious people, from radicalized Christians, radicalized Black Muslims. This is where it comes from. This is the reason why when you ask a real conscious person, hey, what school of thought you from, they could tell you, hey, I started off in the church and this, that, and the other. I went through the Nation of Islam. I went through the Moorish Science Temple. After that, you know what I'm saying, I went to Black Hebrew Israelites. After that, I became, went through the Kemetic thought. And there's, when you listen to them talk, they're telling you a direct line of succession of where their consciousness stem from. And it always come back to Black nationalism, Black radicalized Christians, and Black radicalized Muslims.
Or some form of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, so when we talk about the structure of the conscious community, the structure of the conscious community comes from those schools of thought. Those schools of thought. When you adhere to the tenets of those schools of thought, you are an upright, standing citizen. You are not a person of malice and malevolence. You are not that type of person. And again, here go to a lot of the tenets of what it means to be a Black conscious person, right? So if you don't belong to one of these schools of thought, and you got your consciousness from watching reels and you know what I'm saying, arguing with people about knowledge and stuff like that, if that's where you got your consciousness from, you're not part of the conscious community. You're a visitor in the conscious community. You're a visitor. You're not part of it. You become a part of it when you actually join one of these Black nationalist organizations and you actually support that shit and you live that lifestyle. That's when you are a part of the Black conscious community. Until then, you're just a visitor. And so the Black conscious community is not responsible for your individual actions. That you can only be responsible for the actions of the people
Hard.
in society.
You go hard. You go hard, for real. You go hard. I mean, I have nothing against it. You go hard.
Yeah,
Go
bro.
ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
bro.
just saying, like we got to put things in proper perspective. So when you get people that swindling the people, are they part of the conscious community?
Mm.
Are they? Or
I know who you talk.
are they
I know who you
individuals
talking about.
preying upon people's lack of knowledge? Or are they just predators? You see what I'm saying? Because you got
Dr. Umar. Dr.
well,
Umar,
I
for
ain't gonna
example.
speak no name because
You can
I
say it.
don't. Yeah, I don't know the guy personally, and I don't know his
Right,
struggle, everything. So I don't know his whole story. So I'm not gonna put that
right,
shit on. I
right,
actually like Dr. Umar, even though I'm disappointed in the whole school thing. But
right,
he's fucking human, and he's human
right,
like all of us. And I mean, shit. Some of these niggas smoke crack and snort coke. So I mean,
right,
shit. Like, yeah, they human, and we all up under some type of oppression or pressure. You know what I'm saying, within this system. So I'm not saying I give this nigga no pass. I'm
right.
just saying I'm looking at things from a universal perspective, and that's our
Okay,
brother. And I just I want all of us to uplift each other. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
And hold each other accountable for our misdeeds and our actions. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, you can't call yourself a part of the conscious community if your ass don't belong to one of them Black nationalist organizations. Stop saying that shit. And then one of the guys in the back chat was saying, "Oh, it's about 2 million to 5 million conscious nigga. Conscious people don't take no goddamn census, nigga. That's one of the first fucking things to go out the door. Your participation in the fucking system that's eating your ass alive. That's the first thing that go. That's why most of them don't vote, and we don't do no census. So for somebody to tell you, oh, it's X amount of members in the Nation of Islam, they're lying to you. When they tell you it's X amount of members in the Moorish Science Temple, they're lying to you. When they tell you it's X amount of members in the Black Panthers, all of these different national organizations, they have absolutely no fucking idea how many people actually belong to those organizations because we don't do census.
Foundational to Black nationalism is do for self.
You're definitely not asking your school of thought on the census point.
Do for self. It's do for self. And it's not necessarily Black superiority because we don't really think that we're superior to anyone. It's just Black self-reliance and Black do for self. That's foundation.
And one thing, and big up to the panel, big up to the host. One thing I fought the conscious community for is their refusal to acknowledge the adverse effects of mass immigration and illegal immigration. Or in other words, the conscious community, they can acknowledge that the whites have adversely affected Black Americans. But these same members of the conscious community, they won't acknowledge that the Chinese, the Arabians, the Hispanics are also adversely affecting the Black American community. And the same exact conscious community, they won't take a stance against mass immigration. They won't call ICE on the illegal aliens. They won't advocate for legislation to ban immigration to the U.S. Or in other words, and I'll say this in closing, the conscious community will turn a blind eye to Black Americans being ethnically displaced out of Black American communities by immigrants. It's shameful.
And before you guys respond, hold on, Kemet. I've been looking for you, brother. I haven't seen you for like a month and a half. Can you drop your information in the private chat? I know exactly who you are, Mr. Checkmate.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Please put your info. I need an interview from you. Please put your info in the private.
I'll put it in the back chat. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Okay, go ahead.
Can I speak now? Can I speak?
Yes.
I don't see the connection. It's kind of like saying that in order to be a member of the conscious community, that you have to be African American. I don't think that that's a qualifier because Pan-Africanism was started by a Trinidadian, and then also you have Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey.
Hold on. Let's go one step at a time. Are you familiar with Martin Delaney?
I'm not saying we all have contributions to make. That's what I'm saying.
So you cannot say it was started by a Trinidadian. So that's why I got to catch you.
His name was Henry Sylvester Williams.
Well, we're not going to get into the argument about who started it because the conscious community is an organic, fluid thing. It's not like it's one static thing. It ain't
exactly. And the brother, hold on, the brother that just said that. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm Caribbean. I am Caribbean.
Case in point. Let me have a dialogue with you. Now, let me have a dialogue with you, my Trinidadian brother. Now, you are from Trinidad. You're outnumbered by Indians in Trinidad, correct?
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So the question is, I'm asking a question. Does that have negative or positive impacts on the Afro-Trinidadian community?
That's
okay. First off,
let him answer that. No, let him answer that because I'm highlighting.
Okay, Lorel, I agree. It's irrelevant. It is irrelevant. But I am also Trinidadian, and I know what it's like being in Trinidad. Trinidad is a cosmopolitan, right? My name is Caballero. I am.
Hold on, brother. Did you hear the question?
I hear you. No, I will not.
Okay, so what's the answer?
I would say no. It has not had a negative impact. No,
hold on. So just so I'm clear, it has not.
No. We're not gonna go down that road,
brother. With all due respect, I'm trying to wake you up, so you have to mute up to be woken up.
The conversation is not about being woke up, brother.
Will you take your 20 seconds? I'll go next. Take your 20 seconds, and I'll go next.
You're not gonna give me a time limit. You see, it's not gonna work like that. So the whole point is, and obviously you missed it. The first thing that go out the door when you become conscious is your participation in the fucking system that oppresses you. Right, so yeah, they're not talking about voting, and they're not talking about no goddamn integration shit because that's part of the goddamn system. Hell, we are a product of immigration. What are you talking about? So no, we don't got.
Hold on. When you say we are a product of immigration, Who are you referring to?
Global.
African American.
No, I'm asking who is the we?
Global.
Forced immigration.
All right, so just so I'm clear, you're comparing human trafficking victims to immigrants?
I'm saying
What are you talking about?
we ain't from
The
here.
slave Holocaust?
Whoa. One
The
step at a
black
time. Are
African
you
slave?
comparing? Well, we
No,
can't all talk at one time, so let's have an organized dialogue.
talking about is the
I'm
conscious
I'm a
community.
mute out.
Yeah, mute up, brother. Let me have the dialogue with the black American brother.
Conscious community. I'm not talking about
Yeah, so let's have the dialogue, brother. I'll give you an example. Are you aware, brother?
What school of thought do you
One mic at a time, brother.
Okay, brother.
Are you aware?
We're talking about the
All right,
conscious community.
take your 20 seconds. I'll go next, brother. Go ahead.
School of thought do you come from?
Are you forfeiting the rest of your 20 seconds?
I'm asking you a direct question. What school of thought did you come from? Because our conversation is about the community.
All right, and before I answer, are you forfeiting the rest of your 20 seconds so I don't got to cut you off? And you don't got to cut me off?
Brother, show some decorum. The conversation we having is about the conscious community, and you
exactly. So let's have some decorum. I'm asking, are you forfeiting the rest of your 20 seconds so we don't cut each other off?
I'm not forfeiting anything.
He's trying to have a dialogue where he doesn't get cut off. That's all. I understand that. And I know you're trying to keep him on topic. But I think we can meet somewhere in the middle here. But he hasn't had a valid chance to talk. I'm trying to get what he's trying to say, but I don't know. It keeps getting sidetracked, but I think he's trying to take us somewhere y'all don't want it to go.
That's because we're not talking about that.
Okay.
Well, what it is they feel like I'm taking them into the deep end and they about to drown. The point is this, and it's very simple. If you look at New York City or Miami, they have literally zero majority black American communities because they've turned a blind eye to mass immigration. They have majority African communities in New York City. They have majority Caribbean communities in New York City, but they don't have any majority black American communities in New York City because they've turned a blind eye to mass immigration. My question is, how many black American communities are black Americans willing to forfeit to foreigners? That's all I'm asking.
Right. Okay. So he just asked us a question nobody can answer. So like I said, we're back to the conscious community.
Hold on, but what's the answer though? What's the answer though?
Nobody can answer that question.
Brother, the answer is to be zero. How you don't understand?
Okay. I have a question, right? I have a question, right? I'm an immigrant. I've been here since I was 7. I came back when I was 25, and I've been here ever since. I'm 62. My children are American. So what are you saying? I'm basically American.
Hold on, when you say they're American,
don't you hear the way that I talk? So what difference does it make?
Hold on, I'm saying.
Don't you hear the way that what difference does it make?
You are American. If you live in the Western Hemisphere,
hold on, one mic at a time. One mic at a time, just for clarity.
One mic at a time. I'm talking.
You make your point. I'll go next. Take 20 seconds.
When you live in the Western Hemisphere of the planet, and you are born, bred right here, you are considered American. You are American because you live in the Americas, not because you part of the United States or not because you part of any other fucking bullshit. Because you exist on this fucking continent called America.
And brother, the reason you don't understand my question is because you cut me off. I'm asking about ethnicity now, not nationality. The question is to the Caribbean brother, please mute up.
Let him talk. Let me dialogue
please
with him.
mute up, brother.
Go ahead,
really, because you're triggered and you're emotional. So the question is to the Caribbean. All right. Take 20 more seconds, brother. Take 20 more seconds.
Bro, I'm out of here, bro. I'll let y'all later.
Yeah, go ahead, run, brother.
Don't go. Then I'm gonna leave.
Don't go. This was his show for real. He came up with this topic, and I see why he's getting frustrated because it's going away from the topic.
Talk.
No, this is about the conscious community and what the conscious community accepts, which is mass immigration. So to the brother.
A1.
Steve.
This what's his name? This one here? What's his name? I don't see it.
Pan mulattoism, brother. Yes.
Pan mulattoism.
Yes.
So what is your point? What are you trying to say?
And this is the Caribbean brother I'm speaking to?
Yes.
Yes, and brother, let's not speed past what you did. I'm trying to answer your question. Let's not speed past what you just said. When you said that your children are American, are you speaking about nationality or ethnically?
But what difference does it really make?
Brother, I'm asking a simple question, brother. Are you speaking ethnically or by nationality?
They were born here.
And
ethnically,
yes.
they're Black American, but they're also Caribbean. Their
So
father
their mother is
is
Black American?
no, their mother is Jamaican. What difference
Okay
does it
then,
make?
brother. That means that they are not ethnically Black American, brother. And that's the point I'm making
You're
right there.
causing
Hold on,
problems.
mute up, brother. Mute up for a second. Mute up,
You're
mute up.
causing problems.
No,
Goodbye.
I'm highlighting the truth. That's why you want to talk over me. The point is this: we have immigrants and the descendants of immigrants that cosplay as Black American when they are ethnically not the same as us. He just said it. His children are Caribbean. They are of Caribbean stock, but he will call them Black American, and they will come in front of us and pretend to be us, even though they are not. Just like if I was born in China, that does not make me ethnically Chinese. So back to the discussion of the conscious community. The conscious community has opened the door for Tevas, other ethnicities, to come to our country and outnumber us in our own communities and say that, oh, we're all black? We're all black? Yes, but are we practicing self-preservation as Black Americans specifically? Because Trinidad, and I'll say this in closing, Afro-Trinidadians, they have a factory that creates more Afro-Trinidadians. Jamaicans, they have a factory that creates more Jamaicans. It's called Jamaica. We as Black Americans, we have to preserve our factories that create more Black Americans, which is Chicago, which is North Carolina, which is the DMV, which is Milwaukee, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If we allow ourselves to be ethnically displaced out of our own communities, our future generations won't have any more majority Black American communities to grow up in. So we have to practice self-preservation. We have to take a stance against mass immigration. Literally.
Yeah, I see you took it to politics. I mean, that's definitely a thing. We were more so talking about people being able to trace their consciousness and where it started, and we were pretty much saying it all goes back to extremist Black organizations at the root of them.
And I'm not disagreeing that that may be true, but what I'm saying is, even if we were to pick a lot of these organizations that we honor and that we have reverence towards, most of them have not addressed this particular issue that we are being ethnically displaced out of our own community due to mass immigration. Even the Nation of Islam, who I got a lot of respect for, even the Black Panthers, who I got a lot of respect for. The Black Panthers, especially in Chicago, they established the Rainbow Coalition when they tried to work in assembly with immigrant groups such as the Brown Berets, and they had a Chinese organization up there that they were trying to work with. Even the Nation of Islam, if you look in the Nation of Islam today, they got members of the Caribbean, pardon me, they have members in the Nation of Islam that are from the Caribbean. They even have Mexicans in the Nation of Islam. So a lot of these organizations, we are to acknowledge the positive that they have done, but we also have to build on what they did not address, really. Because, and I can't say it in any more simpler forms, in any more simpler words. How many more of our communities are we willing to forfeit to foreigners? And I noticed that the so-called pro-blacks, even the ones that was on this panel, they are afraid to address this particular issue. They run away. This is their Achilles heel because the Black American pro-blacks, the Black American Pan-Africans, they see Nigerians and Jamaicans and Trinidadians the same as themselves, but they don't acknowledge that the Nigerians, the Trinidadians, the Jamaicans don't see themselves the same as Black Americans. When we go to Trinidad or Jamaica or Nigeria, they have not allowed Black Americans to outnumber them in any of their cities. When you go over there, there's no majority Black American city in Trinidad or Jamaica or Nigeria or even Ghana, where a lot of us go at. So just as they are able to practice self-preservation, we as Black Americans must do the same thing, or we'll be bred out. And our future generations will look up to us and say, hey, y'all niggas was coons. Y'all gave away everything. And I say this in closing because I really don't want to be too talkative. I really despise being too talkative, but I have to say this. Our grandfathers.
Hold on 1 second, Pan. MC, who is this?
Hey, what's going on? What is the topic on
Peace.
today's?
I don't know who that is. My bad. Go ahead, Pan.
It's all good. And I'll say this in closing, really, because I'm not trying to wrap you up.
No, actually, I got a video that I wanted to play and get you to comment on. It's
all right, yeah, please.
specifically about what you was talking about. Go ahead, though.
Yes, sir. Our grandfathers, they have more majority Black American cities, towns, counties, and congressional districts than we do today. And it's shameful, really. Even though our numbers have increased, we have less majority Black American cities than our grandfather did. We have less Black-owned farms than our grandfathers did. So I mean, I can't say it anymore. I can't say it any different way, any other different ways. If we don't practice self-preservation, we'll go the same direction as Australian Aboriginals. Really, matter of fact, we might be in a worse position than them because at least they got their own reservations. We ain't got shit. Pardon my
Damn.
language.
No worries. I'm going to play this video from an activist from Chicago. A lot of people may be familiar with. Add this to the stage. I don't know who MC Nemesis is, and he sounds like a troll. Hey, why did you kick me? Show your camera, MC Nemesis. I want to make sure you're a real person with clothes on. I'm not. Yeah, he left when I said that. So, yeah. Check back chat. Let me see who that is. Yeah, that's what he wanted to say. He wanted to say F the N-words.
And to be honest, the brothers that were just on the panel, particularly the Black American one, I wish he did not leave because this is a discussion that involves all generations of the Black American community. We all have a hand in preserving our community. And I wish he wasn't. And when I say this, I'm not trying to attack him, and I'm sure he might still be listening. I wish he wasn't so emotionally triggered so we can have a logical conversation, really. Because I don't have a problem with Ethiopians or Jamaicans or people from Zimbabwe, etc. But I don't love them more than I love myself. I don't love them more than I love my own grandkids, my own kids, my future
No.
generations.
I think his thing was he probably felt like you derailed the topic. It seems like you changed the subject, but you found something that they were you found something that they brought up to come back around to your home base point. Because I've heard you talk about this same thing a few times.
Yes.
So that's why he was like, that's not really the topic. But when you do open panels, it's kind of I usually let it go where it flows because that's.
And that's the thing, and I know you wasn't saying this to take a dig at me, but no, I did not change the subject. I was responding to something that panelists said before I even came on the panel.
Yeah,
Really.
I mean I see what you're saying, but when you're already looking for something, you see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure,
So,
definitely.
and it's not. I wasn't. Yeah, not an insult. Not to insult you. It's just important to you. So I understand.
In the city of Chicago and Illinois is a
Yeah,
manufactured crisis for politicians on both sides, either for politics or for money. And I'm asking the residents of the city of Chicago not to be political pawns in between. There are great folks that I know, that I actually hire, that are immigrants who've been here for many years. Some that may not be on papers, that I know are scared. But guess what? They are collateral damage in between the politics and the money side of what's going on. What do I mean by that? Well, in 2022, when the governors of Texas and Florida, when they started to ship folks to other cities by buses because they didn't want to put the burden on their taxpayers, their dollars in their states, they didn't want to spend it on migrants, they sent them to sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities saw that as a chance to be able to get labor and to be able to make money through all of the contractors and their friends that were pouring money into their campaigns. That's why in the state of Illinois, we spent billions. Right here in the city of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson has spent $1 billion. And the majority of that money went to contractors that were out of town. People who probably gave them kickbacks or campaign donations. This was a huge money grab. And guess who suffered? The people in communities where migrants were placed. The buildings that they gave 6 months of free rent to that were run down. Do you know how many folks from the cartel and how many folks from overseas who came over here that committed crimes? You know how many folks have committed murder that were migrants? You know how many folks that have committed rape against children that were migrants? But they are playing politics right now, protecting them, all because of $1, because of campaign donations, because they got to play politics because they hate Trump more than they love the people. What I'm asking the people out there is to not be political pawns. I know what being a political pawn looks like. I was that young boy who was leading those protests, in which I thought people like these politicians cared about us. And they used me and our protests for many years to gain the power that they wanted so that they could take care of their friends and play power games. While in the communities we're suffering, kids are literally dying in the streets. They're being miseducated in our schools. They're living in food deserts. And none of these politicians and none of them come in our neighborhoods. Pastors who actually are in the pulpit in churches, they're getting money for shelters right now for migrants. And they've never come into the community. So I say to you, don't be a political pawn in between the politics and the money of this. Be better than that. Stay clear. The ICE raids and the migrant crisis in the city of Chicago and Illinois is a manufactured crisis for politicians on both sides, either for politics or for money. And I'm asking the residents of the city of Chicago not to be political pawns in between.
Now, that was powerful information right there, man. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, for the most part, I agree with what he said. And I appreciate seeing Black Americans take a hard stance against mass immigration, because the immigrants that come to the U.S., like I said earlier, they won't tolerate us coming to their countries and outnumbering them in their cities that they come from. Even right now in Mexico, full disclosure, I own real estate in Mexico and Puerto Rico, different places throughout Latin America. In Mexico right now, even in Puerto Rico right now, which is U.S. territory, there are anti-American protests because the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans feel as though too many Americans are moving to their country and buying up a lot of the real estate. Or in other words, they have a sense of self-preservation. But on the other side, you see Black Americans voting Democrat, voting to be flooded by these same immigrants. So, it's good to see this brother stand against immigration.
Yeah, I'll read the caption here. This is from Pro Black Thought on Instagram. Having the correct context on this issue is very important, and he captures that well in his message. Both major political parties are to blame for this issue. Black people were vocal in not wanting migrants placed in their neighborhoods when they were being sent to Chicago. The administration at the same time did not care. Some Black people were detained by agents looking for migrants. The current administration does not care. And I know some will reject this message, not because they want to focus on what is going on now, but it is important to understand how this came to be. Hold on, let me go back here. Both major political parties are to blame. Chicago, don't risk your life being a pawn for these politicians. They mean no good. I pray for our city stay clear. And yeah. And I forgot this brother's name, man. He used to, Jamal Green. Follow him real quick. Yeah, everybody go follow J. Maul Green on Instagram. Jamal Green. That was the brother dropping that information right there. Yeah, he's been an activist since a teenager. So, like he was saying, they used him, and he feels manipulated right now. He watched it all unfold in real time, So,
Yeah, and a lot of us, I will say, we think that when the immigrants come to the U.S., we think that they will form some type of people of color coalition against the whites. But in reality, when the immigrants come to the U.S., first of all, they came to the U.S. to work for the whites. And that's something that we cannot neglect to acknowledge. The immigrants that came to the U.S., they came to work for Caucasian people. They did not come to team up with what they perceive to be the bottom caste, which is us. Really, they see more of a benefit teaming up with the whites instead of attempting to team up with us.
yeah, facts. Yeah, I definitely don't think they're going through hell and high water to get here to kick it with us.
No, not at all.
Facts. And I live in a sanctuary city, or actually, I did for the last 12 years. It's heavily segregated. you do find Latinos or Mexican people who are friends with blacks, because we're so close in proximity. It's going to happen. There are going to be people who just don't care about that stuff. But I've even seen the Mexican on Mexican segregation. Like there was one Mexican who was explaining that the other Mexican with the dark curly hair, he's from a different side of Mexico or from some city, and they don't mess with him. But then I understood at the same time, like they made him eat by himself and everything. But I understood that he was like the blacks and the lower caste, and that they were being racist for real. And he used to kick it with the blacks. That Mexican, he would kick it with the blacks. He was like an outcast to them.
And different parts of Maryland, majority Black American. When I was growing up, I would see how when the Hispanics numbers were lower, they were friendlier towards us because they didn't have the numbers. But as the numbers got greater, that's when you would see their real venom and actually how they felt would come out. And it's easy to be friendly towards a person that you're eating off of. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, that's how they see it. They like, at the end of the day, in 20 years we taking all this shit over anyway. So what? And a lot of them are saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying you must learn Spanish. That's what your grandkids gonna speak Spanish. That's what they're telling us. Because
it wasn't even quiet, because if you remember the meeting that Joe Biden had in the NAACP, and he yelled at the NAACP and lashed out at him. And when they asked for something tangible, and they were trying to get the George Floyd Act passed, and he yelled at him and he said, you guys are. I don't want to misquote him, but let me just pull it up, because people that if I
what he said was, y'all gonna have to work with the Hispanics. I remember that.
He said, y'all about to have to work with the Hispanics. Y'all not about to be number one.
And to be honest,
this is
my bad. Go ahead.
We have someone backstage. Can you show your camera so I can see who you are? Okay. Well, you shall sit back there until the end of time.
And to be honest, after that, because like you said, that meeting that Joe Biden had with the Black Caucus, that went viral. No Black American should have ever voted Democrat again after that. Really, they literally are telling you, we are ethnically displacing you, and this is who we are using to ethnically displace you. And somehow Black Americans still found a reason to vote Democrat. I really don't get it.
Yep, we're about to pull that up. Like it's right in our face. Like I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe he was yelling at them and chastising them like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely let the cat out of the bag. Freudian. It wasn't even a Freudian slip. He was being pretty transparent.
And to be honest with you, now I just agreed with you when you said that you were surprised that he said that to him and spoke to him that way. But to be honest, as I think about it, I'll be real. I should not be surprised when the whites or the liberals, the Democrats, when they know that we will vote for them regardless and they treat us as such. That should not be shocking, because he know regardless, he could say whatever he wanted to say in that meeting and the masses of Black Americans will still vote Democrat. We've been doing it for how long? 60 years now?
Yeah. I can't see. What should I type in to pull that video up?
Joe Biden Black Caucus meeting.
Here it goes.
And I'm going to drop down. I just got a phone call, but I'll be back in maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm about to play this video right here.
Yes, sir.
Peace, Emmanuel. Peace, Titan family. Okay, let me get the sound back on this.
Responsibility. When I get it wrong, conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. Including
and why is he talking to us like that? Who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do? Because he's an asshole. And like dude said, and people still found a way to ignore this and vote Democrat, even though he's letting us know they're going to be displacing us because those people will be coming here to vote Democrat. And the major issue is that white people are about to be the minority, and they're scrambling, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Strengthen numbers. You know, that's why this podcast is called Black Unity Unfiltered. We are here to talk about things like this. And shout out Pam Mulatto for coming up here and dropping that game. It sort of derailed the original conversation, but you know, I was letting things flow organically. So yeah, this was sad. And I'll play it again because a couple more people just popped.
Over to Kamala, who said, conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life, most of you. I've worked with you my whole life, most of you. I've been around doing this for a long, long time. I don't always get it right, but I always take responsibility. When I get it wrong, I acknowledge I got it wrong. But my overarching objective, if we cannot make significant progress on racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. Conclude and turn it over to Kamala, who says, what the hell am I doing with this guy right now? But all kidding aside, I've known you my whole life.
Sorry about that.
I
had some Jehovah's Witnesses just hit my door. I had to go take care of that. I told them I was live streaming. They said they'll come back. Maybe I can get a nice conversation out of them for a live stream. Okay, Master. Okay, he put his camera on so I can see he's a real person. My apologies to you. We just had some people coming up here attempting to be disruptive. So I'm just being cautious. I know Mr. Bantu in the building. Bantu Esoteric, how you feeling today?
What it do, big bro, man? You know I'm chilling, man. I appreciate you allowing me to come on the platform. I seen you drop the link.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Let me see what my boy talking about, man.
Yeah, we've been up here building about where is the conscious community, trying to figure out if people can trace where they came into consciousness at, and usually wherever it is, it usually goes back to some form of a Black extremist group. Not that that's a negative thing. We were just highlighting that. What's on your mind today, Master?
Yeah, can you see me? Or can you
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man, Master Tommy Cox, Free Life Flowers, Atomic Sheet, Amaral, Maximil. How you doing, brothers?
That's a. How many names is that?
Man.
Oh man, that's 52 characters in that story.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm rocking with it.
Yeah.
What's on your mind today? You know, what you gentlemen want to talk about?
I went back to an indigenous tribe that my grandmom's was in, and going backwards to go forward, we have to. I see that we being called all sorts of misnomers. You know, these terms that we're being called. But when you really look at indigenous terms, when you look at things on a etymological level, we we're we're the first original people here, the original inhabitants. We're the descendants of these first people, and so that has a certain status to it, and that certain status that we have is first class. And with us being first class citizens and first class nationals, that beats out that second class amendment. That, well, pardon yourself, not that second class amendment, that second class citizenship, that 14th Amendment citizenship that they throw on us.
Mm.
So it's a jurisdictional issue that we have going on, our people, because we're
Facts.
allowing people to call us things, we're consenting to it on contracts, and we're not going against it.
And if you acquiesce,
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And so on certain things like documentation, I'm gonna be honest, when I had to go backwards, I had to and accept it and declare my nationality in an indigenous tribal government. I saw that they just did not want to recognize us. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because even when it
Of
goes
course
to the
not.
natives, even when it goes to saying that we're natives, no, we're the true autochtons, the actual original inhabitants. We have connections to the DNA, to the epigraph. You know what I'm saying? We have all sorts of different situations that can kind of like prove to who we are. We have the MC1R gene, Dr. Amaru Amataga Ali, he put that information out there. So I don't know if you guys understand about, we have the Aboriginal Republic of North America. Amaru Namataga, Shi Ali, Dr. Ali Muhammad, that is indigenous tribal government, which has a total different jurisdiction than the United States government. Even though we are nationals of the United States, just by allegiance through our treaties, the supreme law of the land, we also have a nationality, a dual nationality as indigenous tribal government, you know what I'm saying, as an indigenous tribal government. So these are certain things that we have had in play. And so when they talk about reparations and things like that, those are things that have already been going on. This is not something that hasn't been taking place. And so we just have to go backwards in order to go forward because we already had a first class citizenship. You understand what I'm saying? They just pulled they did a play on us. You know what I mean? So it's just it's crazy the way they did it. But at the same way, if we go back into our indigenous heritage, that true Aboriginal heritage, and find out who we truly are, and stop them from calling us, you know what I'm saying, don't consent to different things that these misnomers, then we'll be
Um,
better.
it makes me
Yo,
think of a proverb that I saw
mhm,
somewhere. The best way to fight an oppressive culture is to embrace your own.
mhm.
Um, and I don't know if we can get around the misnomers. I think do they still apply even if we don't accept because they're already embedded into the system that we were born into? It's like if we don't check the African American box, like they're gonna check it for you. Like, does it matter that we didn't? Now, and that's just accepting. But I see as far as taking steps to change it, like maybe claiming your nationality, things like that.
That
Um,
was just to give
that makes
clarity to what
sense.
you're saying. It does. Once you declare your nationality in an indigenous tribe and you join an indigenous, um, you guys was talking about the conscious community and where things stem from, and we were always rebels. We were always never wanting to be under the gun, and we always revolted. And so when you look at revolutions of 1804, and you find out that they were still kidnapping us from up here in the Americas and taking us to Africa and other countries and down to the Caribbeans. We were revolting at those times. And so a lot of people consider us to be, let's say, um, I'll do it like this, right? When people really find out who were the real slave masters, they're gonna be surprised, because when people really see that we weren't always in that slave position, that we were actually the masters in the master position, and then people came into our families, and then there was a lot of deaths that occurred and things like that, and they took names, and there's a whole lot of things that happened to our families. Remember, it was families that was over here. It was communities that was over here when these, non-Aboriginals came to our lands, when they got to our shores and things like that. And they took dictation, and they, told the stories of who was over here. And we had things going on. We had cotton going on. We had industries happening already, government happening already. We taught them to be able to survive on these lands. We had interpreters that taught them how to speak our language. And so you understand what I'm saying? This is all before the chains of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. This is times way before that. We can
Mm.
prove these things that we had. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, I'm not trying to turn away from, you turn your followers to something else other than your website. I mean, your page and what you got. But we do have,
No,
uh,
go ahead, promote
yep,
your stuff, bro. I'm not like that. I believe in I don't come from a scarcity mindset. A lot of people won't let you do that on their channel. I want people to do that on their channel. Oh, come on, go ahead, promote
you
your
know what?
stuff.
I appreciate that, my brother,
Yeah.
because we are the Aboriginal Republic of North America, and I'm a national in that tribal government. And our chief, his name is the Amaru Namataga Shiali, Dr. Ali Muhammad. And we deal with health, number one. We deal with being jurists. We deal with the economics. We deal with cosmology. It's a lot of different things that our people need, particularly, and that starts with health. And when we can prove they are those original people and we have an indigenous paradigm of health, we don't need to take that Western medicine and things like that. And we
Mm,
can, when it comes time to those COVID, well, excuse me, I don't want to, when it comes to the C-19 and all of that kind of stuff, we have indigenous jurisdictions that allow us to be able to operate, to have our businesses, get on planes, do everything, and show our paperwork so that we don't have to take those things and get those reactions. So
mm,
we have different jurisdictional, situations that they just cannot deal. There's nothing that they can do when it's in another jurisdiction. That's like Russians
Yeah, facts.
coming to, what I'm saying? That's like Americans going to Russia. What can you do in Russia? You're not in the jurisdiction. And
Now
so
I've
since
challenged
you
the
have that,
jurisdiction several times at court
uh-huh,
and won. Uh, so
exactly.
I'm familiar. So because like my homie I knew that was up here, he started this whole conversation about where's the conscious community. My story
Hmm.
starts with the Moors. Honestly, I was trying to be the case. So I start looking up information online about how to be the case, and I came across this jurisdiction stuff. Then that led into I'm not black and all of this stuff. But I was so focused, I'm like, I can't focus on that right now. I was intrigued by it. I'm like, I just need to beat this case. And when the jurisdiction stuff helped me beat the case, I was like, oh, so that means that all of this is true. like, like
Hmm.
I need to double back and get on my history so I really thoroughly understand it. I'm like, I got it down enough to do my UCC 1308 and then challenge the jurisdiction in court. Uh, but I did it mostly through paperwork. I did have to go up and verbally argue it, which was
Hmm.
fun. It was adrenaline rush doing that. But yeah, they ended up throwing my stuff out because it wasn't in their jurisdiction. They couldn't handle my case.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Things
lit.
changed.
Things
Things definitely
changed.
changed. Exactly. Once you find out that, and not to cut you off, but to couple with what you're saying, not it's like once you find out who you truly are, your identity, once our people understand the word black is just colloquial, which means that we come from that black star, that actual star that's not shining. You see the radiance. There's no real light. You see the radiance of the sun. And so we're the light that shines from that creator. So if you see the creator's light shine from you and you are ray of that light, that true indigenous light, that first original light where it's let there be light and that consciousness came into us. That thing is, you have to realize the first fight became within yourself. The first actual I say the first fight, the first question, the first actual understanding of you trying to figure out who you are. That right there was the turning point for the anybody in the conscious community. Was when you question who you are, when you question the creator, when you question, you want to figure out who you are. I came in because I wanted to know who I was. I didn't have like, situations with people coming at me and I need to get out of it and things like that. I just was like, yo, I I had a position where as a youth, I cursed the creator because I was like, yo, why you create me black? They the only ones that don't get nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They poor out here. I just didn't understand myself. I didn't understand anything about it. So I'm just looking at our poverty. I'm looking at our ignorance. I'm looking at the fact that we don't have no unity. And I'm like, why you create me black, yo? So I'm talking to the creator, and then, you know, gradually the creator began to open up and allow me to see that I'm within you, bro.
Mm.
I'm within you. You don't gotta look nowhere. You gotta look inside yourself. And once I understood that was the beginning, and then I started to figure out that within that aspect is outside of me. There's a physicalness to me. And then you get you just continue on with education. You keep seeking knowledge. You keep seeking education. It wasn't a school that could teach me what it was. You know what I'm saying? There was no school that could teach me that I'm connected to the creator in such a way. And then I got 60 million other indigenous people that's connected also. And if we move together, we can move mountains, even if we thought the same, even if we say, yo, look, we gonna pick a day where all 60 million of us get together and we just mentally think, get these people up out of here. Get these, you know what I'm saying? And do something, but we mentally think it. Do you know what that would do to the earth if we just all thought that way? Just connectively thought that way. So, my thing is about that connection. And it's a connection when you deal with, not to just keep over talking. I want you to answer this
Mhm.
kind of why wouldn't a dude like, let's say, um any one of these conscious community guys that's out here so-called leading the way, why wouldn't we get together with each other's groups? And now each other's groups, it's like when I used to go to, let's say, Sunday school, parts of my grandmother. I used to go to church with my grandmother. They used to go to other church members, I mean, meaning other churches, and fellowship with other churches. So if my churches or my group or my government deals with jurisdictional issues and helping jurisdictional issues, but you or your group deals with, let's say, understanding things from a religious aspect, that's just a religious way of looking at it. But if this other group over here is, what I'm saying, coming at it from, let's say, uh, a biblical, cosmological, astrological, we're just proven in so many different ways that we are those original people. Just proving it in so many different ways around the board. It's like a big ass pie. We got to put this pie back together because, you know what I'm saying? It's been so many pieces put back to it. Put it back. Let's see what we have. And so That's all I'm saying. Just to cut it, cut straight and get back to what you were talking about. I honestly believe if we honestly go back into ourselves, that's the community, because we're going to join other people that want to do the same exact thing. We're all searching to figure this thing out. None of
But
us want to
how do
allow
we
this
get
to
there though?
go.
Because they running this divide and conquer play on us at
But
such
that's
a
what I'm
high
saying.
level from so many different angles.
From
It's like,
every angle, food, you got politics, you got the immigrants, you got it's like it's surrounding us. But that's what I'm saying. Instead of, let's say, Dr. Umar, for instance, why wouldn't you join an indigenous tribal government over here in the Americas? If you over here in the Americas talking Pan Africanism, why don't you go to Africa and join an indigenous African group? It almost seemed like, I'm not gonna just specifically go in on him particularly because it's others, but why don't each other join each other's groups? Why won't you join inside? If you know this dude has a tribal government and we're running the tribal government, we have ministerial congresses, we have parliament going on, we have all sorts of different things that it takes to actually run a government the way the United States has their government running, but we're actually 20 times ahead of them, but we're just a small number, right? But look at 1776. They was a small number and they grew. So all we got to do is grow. So why won't we grow together? You understand what I'm saying? If all of these guys know each other and everybody out here, I'm not gonna say we was battling, debating like Sonetta had everybody doing. It should have been unity, like forums of unity. It shouldn't have been a debate. It should have been how we getting together. So, that was always my thing from the beginning. When I first got into the community, I always wanted the togetherness. I always wanted them not to debate. I always wanted them to just get together and, you know what I'm
dang,
saying?
I feel
But
you though. I feel you.
it was different. But the debate thing was running. You
It
understand?
is. You see, I
And
got the debate league over here.
yeah,
But
that just
I
was like,
feel you though. It is the debate isn't so. I feel like debate isn't so much the problem. It's
okay,
unhealthy debate that's the problem. It's when
that I
once we
agree with.
start to tear each other down, and once the Willie Lynch syndrome and the self hatred starts coming out in that, that's when it becomes a
Hmm.
problem. If we if we're debating to build, that's different. You know what I'm saying? If we're trying to come up with solutions and figure out which is the best route to take, things like that, that's healthy debate. And as long as it's not toxic. So
Hmm.
even just when two people disagree, when two great minds disagree, it becomes a debate. If they
You're right.
disagree verbally, like there are two
You're
people
right.
explaining their case, it doesn't have to be unhealthy, but it does have a bad stigma in our community. Which is why my debate league, I have the rules the way I have them.
Hmm.
I'm trying to bring the decorum up. Like I said, the conscious community streets need cleaned up, and that's what I'm here to
Definitely
do.
that.
And I
And I
tell people, don't
appreciate that.
become part of the trash that I'm here to clean up, because I will be
Hmm.
on you. You know.
I like that, my bro. I appreciate that.
Yep,
This
yep,
is definitely a necessity for the folks, man. I hope the world was listening to our conversation right now. And at
definitely,
least 60 million of our indigenous folks. You're not black. You're not African American. Those are misnomers. We colloquially speaking, we're not politically correct when you don't call us indigenous. You're not politically correct and might get your face slapped if you don't say I'm Aboriginal. So you understand what I'm saying about how the
hmm
trend is going? You're gonna need to have to identify yourself. And we are the original people. We're the descendants of those original inhabitants of the Americas. And we have everything to prove it. So what are they going to do now? Those laws have to change. Things have to go different because we have to stand up and regain our royalty, regain our regalness. This is something that is far superior than our physical right now, because we're talking about generations after that have to deal with what our choices today, what we do today, is going to dictate what I mean, your hundredth generation is going to have to deal with. What you do today, what choice you make today. That's like the COVID people. People, oh, I had to take the COVID, had to take it. Oh, I had to do this. They so-called had to do it, but they changed the course of the rest of their DNA for the rest of their lives. No matter what they do, they change the course of their DNA when they took that jab. That's the that's how that's do you know how serious that is?
Hmm. Now I want to play a video since we're talking about I think this is important because we're talking about how the laws have to change. That's what that was a statement that you made. I agree with. Um, some small things are happening, but nothing major. But like, I'll pull this up. The Catholic Church repudiates the doctrine of discovery that justified indigenous oppression.
Mm.
Um, so, is it sharing on my
Ooh.
screen? Yes, it
Yes, it
is.
is. Yes, it
Okay, let's
is.
get into this. This, I just recently brought this up in a debate too, but this was 2 years ago.
How do you feel about that? I would love to know.
Yep, I'm gonna let this play. We're gonna get into it right at the end. And maybe some other people will hop up on the panel and want to add their 2 cents or thoughts to this.
The Catholic Church has officially repudiated the concepts and the doctrine of discovery that said any land not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered and indigenous peoples could be overthrown. Today, some are saying the church still hasn't gone far enough. The CBC's Sarah Levitt is standing by in Montreal. She's covering this story for us. Sarah.
So, Arthi, this statement from the Vatican is essentially an apology for the doctrine of discovery. And, that's as you said, the Catholic Church theory that dates back to the 1400s that essentially legitimized the seizure of indigenous land. It led to, it kind of gave the green light for colonization. Now the Vatican is saying this doctrine, I'll just quote, did not adequately reflect the equal dignity and rights of indigenous peoples. Now, we know that rejecting the doctrine was one of the demands that the Canadian indigenous peoples had when Pope Francis visited Canada last year. It's complicated language, of course. Everything is very careful when it comes to the Catholic Church. And so it is being repudiated, not rescinded. So it's essentially apologizing, but not fully rejecting the papal bulls that involve this.
And of course, since this news broke this morning, there's been lots of reaction. What have you heard so far?
Well, exactly on that question of whether it's rescinded or repudiated, if you recall, when the Pope visited the church near Quebec City, there were two women.
That's crazy.
That stood up during the service and held a flag that said rescind the doctrine. So some not very happy that the church is using repudiated rather than rescinded. But a note that it does appear that this meets the call to action 49 from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And I'll just read from that to you. We call upon all religious denominations and faith groups who have not already done so to repudiate concepts used to justify European sovereignty over indigenous lands and peoples, such as the doctrine of discovery. And, these papal bulls doctrine of discovery. And these papal bulls, they basically formed the basis of many property laws around the world that still exist today. So the question is, what happens now? Here's the chief commissioner from the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women.
What the point is now is all of us, all Canadians, have to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and say, okay, just then what was the basis and what remains the basis for Canada as a country or as a nation having the underlying title to all of the land here.
She said it out loud. Did you hear that?
You see that, right?
She said this goes back to Canada and the underlying factor, like they have the title to the land through this. But hey, she said it right there. It was one sentence, but to me that was very loud. So then we understand what we're fighting against. If you were trying to liberate yourselves from anything, like that would be what we're against. And those would be the laws that would have to change.
And that's when everything changes after those papal doctrines. I mean, those papal laws, because that's the one thing that they're standing on. They've been standing on this since the 1300s, since 1329, when those laws been passed, those papal doctrines. That's how long those laws been in place. And so even above our supreme laws that we have, those papal bulls, you know what I'm saying? That's what got them to be able to so-called get these so-called land grants that allowed this to be the United States of America and all of these other places that, these Europeans came and did what they did. But how do you feel about taking, because it's funny that this is even going on, because the other day I was walking through, the neighborhood, and I'm in New York, and I see Roman Catholic churches. Do you know how much land they have? And they're not paying taxes on that land. Even though the Catholic Church made churches pay taxes on that land, Roman Catholic churches don't pay taxes because it's just going back to them. You know what I'm saying? And so,
and we, real quick, we have a guest to the panel, Shay. How you feeling today, Shay?
Peace.
Shay, are you there? Yeah. Somebody trying to sneak up here. Go ahead.
So do you think we should, let's say, throw suit at the Vatican, at all of these Roman Catholic churches, and reclaim our land? There's a lot of homeless people out there. Make these Catholic churches into homeless centers and things like that all around the nation. You have nothing but opportunity right now with information like this that's going down. These people stole our land. If you go to Seneca Valley, I did research. Seneca Valley was past, let's say, Central Park, down in like Midtown, and then it was past 110 over, by Harlem, and up up all the way to 160 and all that. And then they created all these buildings and project buildings and moved us out of the park. Now they created Central Park West, which is $100 million properties up there. This is the type of stuff that they did. Militarily got us away from us, put projects all around where we're living at, homeless men all around the park, but right around the edge of the park where they created they call it Billionaires Row. So you understand what I'm saying? How they moved us, created monopolies of money for them, but didn't teach us about this land that was originally ours. But now they did some feudal paperwork and put paperwork together and we have to understand this paperwork. So you understand what I'm saying? Why I say we need to throw suit against the Pope, against suit against, like, I'm talking about 60 million of us on a collective level. Like, there has to be a drive that brings us all together. That right there should be a technological thing that if you into technology, if your son's into technology, get your son off the game. Find out what computer science is about, as opposed to your kid running to go get the new game. You see what I'm saying? Let your kid make a game. Get into we have to get into, because right now we're moving into AI. We're moving into advanced intelligence. If our people don't move with advanced intelligence, then we're just washed away. We're washed away. We're gonna be those subjects, those slaves. That's what it's so crazy. That's what it's I don't know if we're gonna come around to that circle or if we're gonna break the cycle. This is a prime opportunity to break cycles and really stand on our feet and say, nah, we're not gonna do it. But guide these young kids that's out here, all these young guys that's out here wilding, we have to guide them. Throw them guns and point them guns in the direction that being pointed at you, not at each other. So it got to be real dudes out here that got to take a stand and say, yo, young bro, let me teach you something. And then if it happens in the jail, you got dudes in the jail that want their mothers safe. You got dudes in the jail that want their daughters and children safe. We got to extend that to the dudes in jail to say, look, if you kill somebody on the streets, you're not going to survive a week inside. So you're not going to think that you're going to kill my family, kill up the neighborhood, kill a community, kill my folks, and then come in here and lamp and chill. So we got to get it all on all points. I got to get, you know what I'm saying? It's like missions. We have to get on missions. Brothers got to develop missions. But I got dudes that sit on chairs in front of stores selling weed. And I got to be like, yo, bro, can I get in the store? But it's like 10 of them selling weed.
All in the way. He was funny.
Yo, we need help, bro.
Posted in front of the stove. I remember them days, man.
You know what I mean? We need help, bro. But this is real. I love this conversation, and I like the fact that you opened this panel. I appreciate the fact that you even let me just, expound on this situation a little bit.
Yeah, question. Where do you think? What do you think the next step should be for us? Because we're about bringing solutions. You know what I'm saying? Not just highlighting the problem.
Well, you know what? I do agree with that, and I'm gonna go back to it. arnagovernment.org. We have the solutions, and I'm just saying it.
Say it again one more time so they can hear you.
Arna, ARNA, government.org. O-R-G. We have the Indigenous Political Authority.org. So Indigenous Political Authority.org. And you could also ARNA Rites of Passage. You could go to YouTube and just go to ARNA, ARNA. You could do Rites of Passage, RITES of Passage. Take the test, take exams. This is full curriculum. We do
That's .org, Indigenous Rites of Passage.org.
Yes, Indigenous Rites of Passage. No. I'm sorry. That's on YouTube.
Okay.
You could go to youtube.com and go to ARNA, ARNA, and then put in Rites of Passage. And if you sick, you need anything when it comes to health-wise, you have the Aboriginal Medical Association.com. I'm talking about full remedies. We healing the sick. We do want you to understand that Indigenous people have a way different, let's say,
here's your website
paradigm.
right here.
Yes. There you go. That's not my website. That's our website.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Our website. We're Indigenous. This is all us.
For the tribal government.
This is all us. You yourself, This is all of us. If you call yourself Black, African American, Negro, colored, slave, you call yourself foundational Black, whatever you call yourself, Moorish, this is for us because this is the one spot that they need to go. When I say this is the spot that they need to go, because there's no other spot that's actually a tribal government moving the those
And
other
again,
native governments, that's not our folks. We're
this
going and we
is
go ahead.
this is ARNA
The
government.org.
Aboriginal Republic of North America.
Okay. The
And
Aboriginal
that's
Republic of North America. That's what that stands for. ARNA
ARNA
government.
government.org. And that's the Shi
Gotcha.
Amaru. That's the Shi Amaru tribal government. The Shi people were the very first people who recorded themselves. They were the very first people. Those people that you just was showing right there. Those were the Shi peoples. That was a picture from the Bumapec mural. That's in Mexico. Mexico. And so this is our phenotype. This is our colors. If you look at the blue in the picture, that comes from that's a sul that comes from Arizona. You
Hmm.
find that in Arizona. Why would that be in Mexico?
Hmm.
So you understand what I'm saying when we going into the deep research and when our chief executive, Amru Namataga Shi Ali, Dr. Ali Muhammad, he's finding he's on a quest. He's on a real quest to show these people in every direction, no matter what it is, we are the original inhabitants. We're the descendants of those original inhabitants of the North Americas. And when you really look at it, we're the influence of the world. There's
Okay.
nobody else who has that influence but us. So when you
Let's
talk
go.
about the chosen, we know who we are. And my bro, I welcome you to this site. I welcome your followers, listeners to that site. I'm gonna be telling people about your program, your podcast, and things like that. Let's keep building, my bro. This is a
Appreciate you.
buildation.
Appreciate you.
This is a buildation nation right now. I
That's
rock
what
with
it's
you.
all about, brother. That's what it's all about, man.
Appreciate you all the way, God. Thank you.
Yeah, and people who trying to gatekeep and block, man, I just feel like they have a scarcity mindset.
You're
You
right.
know, I don't hate back. I understand. You know
I want to see you
why
a
they doing
national
the things
too.
they do.
I would love to see you a national too. Come down there, do the podcast down there. Why? Because every kiss we do our
What's
national headquarters is
mhm.
in Atlanta,
Now?
and we
What's the
have a
national?
summit.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
listening.
I'm sorry, a national is similar to what you would consider as a citizen, but because a citizen can also just be born on the land, that is just solely rights. Just because you were just born on the land, that gives you that birthright. But because we have just sanguineous rights by the bloodline, by our regal bloodline, because we have that nappy hair, because we have that phenotype, that dark skin complexion, that melanated complexion, we're carbonated people. There's nobody else that's like us. We've been set apart. And that's why I had to say, oh my God, I so appreciate you making me like this, God. I had to double back to the creator. Remember in the beginning, I started with the story like, God, why you make me like this? Then I was like, yo, I see that how special we are. That's what I had to do when I found out that I had to understand who I was. I did not understand how special that I was. I didn't understand the royal blessings that was set upon me and my family. And just by having this nappy hair, just by having this dark complexion, this melanated complexion, by being able to understand how to eat carbonated foods, how to be able to self back from, you know what I'm saying, the destruction that they want to set us upon. Nah, bro. We're really moving forward. And this conversation right now that we're having today allowed me to see that this is an example of how we're moving forward. I really appreciate you, my bro. I really do. I really appreciate that you like opened this channel
Yeah, I
because this is
appreciate
on.
you, brother, for coming through, man. Like It's funny because I'm
Anytime.
going around trying to network and promote and work with other people, and they like, what are you doing? We don't do
What?
that here. It's like real tribal in these YouTube streets, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna keep being who I am. Like I don't have a scarcity mindset, so I don't think
There
like
you
that.
go.
I don't think anybody's taking anything from me by coming to promote their stuff or their brand over here, even if it's the same thing I'm doing. Like I just don't have that mindset, and I support everybody who gets up to try to make it happen for them and their family for the day.
Oh
Um,
man,
and
that's
that's just my
awesome, my
energy
bro.
with it.
I really appreciate it. That's awesome. I'm gonna leave you guys with that information right there. If anything, next time you on, I'm definitely gonna chime in again, and I'm gonna tell all my folks about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell them all about this. Definitely.
Appreciate you. Send me some people who got some information. I'm gonna drop
Yes.
my email in the back chat
Okay.
for you because
Perfect.
I need some
Perfect.
people like some more abo conversations and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So if you can send some of your people who teaching and need a space and a platform,
Okay.
tell
That's
them
perfect.
that you can
That's
plug them in.
perfect. And we, like I said, it's gonna come from different directions. We got health that we deal with. We deal with jurisdictional issues when it comes to helping yourself with the laws, helping yourself with the fraud that's going on with these, you know what I'm saying, politicians. We come from cosmological level when it comes to therapy, psychological issues that deal with the mind. We come from an economic basis when it talks about contracts, businesses. We doing for our people what should have been done. And this is just we're just asking people to just focus in more on what they have available to them. That's it. We all these things are available to our folks. It's just that our folks have to, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I appreciated what you're doing, because this helps market that. This helps us push the issue, you know what I'm saying? And we bring in those solutions. And if you based on solution based thinking, then please, I'm only gonna keep pushing people your way.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna do.
My email
That's
is
all
in
I'm
the
gonna do.
back. It's
Okay,
actually
I got you.
it's Titans Debate League at Gmail. Anybody can send me
Okay,
an email. It's not like it's a secret. It's actually on my YouTube page too. If you go into the info, you can
okay,
get my email there as well. I try to make it easy to access, um,
got you.
easy to get in touch with me. I also have a website up, coliseumufarguments.com. Let me go ahead and put
Hmm.
that ad up. You can also contact me through there. People looking to get paid for their debates, you can fill out the form with your contact information and we'll get back to you. We are paying debaters $50 a debate, win, lose, or draw outside
Mm.
of the tournament. That's in the gauntlet. I do have a $500 tournament and I'm paying the winner $50 of each round on the road to the finals for that. That's a separate
Oh,
thing. Yeah, so
I'm
if
gonna
you
send
have
my
any,
juror. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna send my
send your young
jurors at
boys. Yes,
that.
send your young boys too. Send your young. That's what I
You know
was.
what I mean?
I know you got some people who want to
Yes,
come make a couple
indeed.
dollars
Yes,
and they're dropping
indeed.
the same information for free.
Oh
So
man,
tell them come
I
pick up a couple
appreciate
dollars
that.
for the PowerPoint.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Um, and let me run an ad real quick for this website. In the arena of ideas, words are weapons. Confidence is your armor, and every Titan needs their gear. From the Titans Debate League comes a movement born from energy, faith, and power. Custom debater tees, spiritual wear, and PVO gear guaranteed to uplift your spirit and elevate your mindset. This isn't just fashion, it's identity, it's purpose, it's power. Join the movement, step into the arena. Shop now at coliseumufarguments.com and wear what Titans believe in. And I do have a
Ooh, I
debate
like that.
tonight. Yeah, check
I
me out,
like that.
coliseumufarguments.com. You can watch. I have a debate tonight at
Okay.
8 p.m. You can watch the debate live from here on YouTube, or you can watch
Okay.
it live from coliseumufarguments.com. I might be the soldier boy of the debate world to do that right now. You can watch it live from the website. Let me play one ad for that debate tonight. Video file. Here we go. Clash of the Titans 1.0. Which one is it? Here it goes. Got it.
This Sunday night, the Coliseum gates open again. Two titans of thought, two forces of intellect step into the arena where only the brave speak. Hemi the barbarian, battle tested, judge approved, a record of 8 wins and only 2 defeats. Facing him, Isan, the world traveler, the teacher, the man on a mission, a messenger of the gospel of I, spreading his philosophy across borders and belief systems. The question, did Jesus resurrect according to the New Testament? 2 different minds, 2 different paths, one truth waiting to be revealed. Will Hemi's logic stand unshaken, or will Isan's conviction light the way? Find out November 2nd, 8 p.m. only on the Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League, where intellect meets intensity, where words become weapons. Only the brave speak here.
Yes, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Coliseum of Arguments. Shout out these 2 gentlemen being brave enough to step into the arena.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
And put their ideologies to the test.
That's gonna be dope.
Yep. And one last ad real quick, because I am looking for interns.
Amazing news! At Titans Debate League is now looking for interns. We are expanding our team and seeking driven individuals who are ready to make an impact. We're on the hunt for talented people to join our marketing team, a charismatic new host, and creative minds who can produce amazing content. If you have a positive attitude and are used to winning, because that's what we do here, then we want to hear from you. Join us and contribute to a culture of excellence and success here at Titans Debate League. Email us today, titansdebateleague@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Where Infinity Gauntlet is a mere toy compared to the intellectual prowess built and destroyed.
Hey.
Okay. You moving, my brother. I like that.
Yes, I'm trying. Shout out Anu Kakarot for putting that song together. Be looking for a music review coming soon from him on this channel here.
Ooh, I got some things for you. We're gonna stay in contact. I'm gonna give you my mathematics and things like that. We can definitely stay.
Bet. Yeah. Drop it in the back chat. I mean the private chat.
You already know. I got you.
Here, I'm gonna put mine in there, man, for you. Do your thing. Yeah. There you go, right there.
There we go.
Yeah, we locked in.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna chime out and hit you with that info. So we definitely stay connected, my bro. I appreciate you, man.
Big bet, man. You have a good rest of the afternoon.
Oh man, you indeed. Thank you. Peace, people. Appreciate y'all, man. Anybody that listen to understand, we have a tribal government. It's called ARNA, the Aboriginal Republic of America. We here to help. Appreciate y'all.
Peace. Oh, my mic is muted. I think I'm going to go ahead and close out. I'm going to end it with the intro song since I didn't start it with it, just so that way everybody can still get a bite of that. Y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah. Now I got to load my gun, 'cause somebody done shot my brother. I don't give a damn who the fuck you was, I'ma get you suckers. Why they have to take his life? He had 3 kids and a wife. Only thing that comes to mind is go in my closet and grab this knife. So I love my gun, probably finna hunt my brother. Cause ain't nobody else doing all these stupid killings than these dumb little fuckers. So easily they take life just to try and earn some stripes. But we gon' see who's on they job, because my OGs taught me right. So I load my gun. Bang, 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 bang when I load my gun. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't ever really be on it. When I load my gun, niggas die, bullets fly, and mamas cry. I've never been the type to let bullshit slide. No, it ain't no love for the other side when the homies ride. I said when the homies ride, shit get quiet. But why they wanna take my life? I don't know, but fuck it, I'ma ride for mine. With 2 pistols and 2 strikes. Cause growing up in Cleveland ain't nothing nice. Been stuck in the hood my whole life. Done seen too many real ones die. Every night another rest in peace sign. Every night another little mama crying. So I load my gun, because somebody done shot my brother. This time it was the motherfucking punk police. Now I'm tripping, fuck 'em. Yeah. They unjustly took his life. Why they stopped him for a life? Knowing damn well we got it right. And if it don't change, I'ma let him fly. So I load my gun. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang when I load my gun. Yeah. You better load your gun. Yeah. You better load your gun. Yeah, you better load your gun.
But the only thing that's changed is the winning, you know, and I said it since day one. They haven't seen nothing that they can compare me to.
Gotta put a city on one time. I've been grinding since day one. Been grinding since day one, chasing the check. And I think the days come to put my city on and get us respect. Cause bitch, I need everything. Diamonds and pinky rings. Bitch, I need everything that you said we can't have. Now it's big deposits at the bank. I need all the cash. Bitch, I need all the money. 20s, 50s, and 100s. Cause baby, it's the difference than being alive and living. Alive and living. Baby, it's the difference. Baby, it's the difference than being alive and living. Baby, it's the difference to being alive and living. Used to try to play me, now a nigga got his check up. And shit you can tell me, cause I got bitches all up in the telly and they sucking on me. Young nigga never lonely, never lonely. Now I'm flexing on my old thing, cause all my old bitches boring. All my new bitches foreign, yeah, they got hella ass. So I'm spending cash, buying hella bags, time to run it up. So your boy get his money up, cause over here way better. Cause bitches treat you different when you alive and living. Now I'm alive and living. Yeah, 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 yeah. Alive and living. Bitches treat you, baby, it's different. Baby, it's different. Yeah, yeah.